is called the God of small things. You see, the problem with most of our leaders and our politicians is the God of small things. Their mindset is so small and it comes from a place of poverty. If you want to call us up, 0907-651-1008, 0907-651-1008. Their mindset is so small and they will do anything because of the mindset of poverty they have. A lot of them go into politics because they want to steal government money, which is a small mindset. So, what is the national budget of Nigeria that will make these politicians want to kill themselves for? The national budget of Nigeria this year is about a little over $30 billion. And when you look at it, $30 billion to be spent over 250 million people is a paltry amount. The national GDP of the country, what's the national GDP of the country? About $246 billion. $246 billion divided by 250 million people, or over 200 million people. You can do the maths. What does that say? The size is very small. But you see, it is out of this same budget of 30 billion dollars. And the $30 billion, we will borrow a better portion of that money because our so-called oil revenue and tax revenue will never be able to meet that $30 billion in the end. So we'll borrow a better part of the money or roll over the budget cycle. So because of the $30 billion, then people want to get contracts. And they will fight and kill. They will support politicians, put them in power because they want to get contracts. Contracts that over 50 to 60% of the contracts will be gone in corruption because they will not get to do the contracts in the end. And they destroy the lives of people when you don't do the contract. The roads are not good. Out of the close to 200,000 square kilometers of roads you have in the country, most of them are in deplorable conditions. And when they take that money, a few chunk of those people are the ones that have that money. But guess what? Others are left to suffer. But you see, you forget that that money is so small. Let me tell you how small that money is. Private charities like MacArthur Foundation have an endowment of close to $10 billion. That's close to half of the national budget of Nigeria. No, okay. That's close to over 20-30%. And that's just one charity. MacArthur was set up by, Catherine and my husband in the 70s. He was a billionaire. He was worth about $1 billion and he endowed the foundation. Bill Gates, the endowment is over $70 billion. Novo Nordisk Foundation, the endowment is over $100 billion. And that's why you see that the size of the budget that a lot of these our politicians are eating out of, and what they use the money for most of the time is to see how they can run for election again and gain political relevance. When you compare it to endowments of some foundations like Novo Nordisk and the Tata Foundation, which is over $100 billion, it's so small. And that's why when USAID pulled out their supports for different programs, the Nigerian government started to feel it. We had a reduction in health outcomes in some part of the north. Because you see, our budget is so small that most of the health outcomes that we're even gaining and fight against disease is because of the donations from some foundations that are blocking the gap. And you see, by doing a lot of work in the healthcare sector, I know that the budget is so small. That's why if you truly want to do good and you have the resource, what you should go do is to set up a foundation or a scheme how you can give back rather than saying that money you use to run for politics because you want to do the greater good. If you set up a very big foundation that has a good endowment, you could use to solve most of the social problems in the country. Do you know at a point in this country, some of even the people that work in governments are being paid from salaries of foundations? I've had people that work in government and said their salaries, and they came in as high technical skill staff. Their salaries were being paid from people that have a foundation. Just like how people that are helping achieve the health outcomes in part of the North, their salaries are being paid by foundations. You can argue with me about that and say, oh, the politics of foundations and everything, that's another one. But that's just to show you the pie that these politicians are so shallow-minded that they fight about. It's a very small pie. The Nigerian government cannot, even if they borrow, because there's also borrowing threshold. You can't spend beyond 30, 40 billion threshold. And that's why, if we are sensible, we'll make the economy bigger rather than make it smaller. So for that 30 billion government revenue, the size of the economy is so made small because of government bureaucracy. There's corruption here and there. You're not allowing the economy grow. And that's why when there's corruption, in fact, it's an indictment because it doesn't allow the economy grow. And a lot of people's lives start to revolve around one cycle. Look at us in the media business. See, one of the major monies media makes in this country is from advertising revenue, apart from events and all of that, which is also a smaller market. Over the years, the advertising revenue has been dropping so much, all right, that today, I'm not sure across all the media stations in Nigeria, we have close to $1 billion in advertising revenue, US dollars. I can tell you for free because I'm a media owner. I can tell you for free. I don't only own media in the radio space, I also own media in the TV space, and I also am part of media in, the online space. In fact, there's virtually next to nothing as regards revenue intake. And you have to pay salaries. Because why? The system has dropped. And for every company that doesn't do well, the first business or sector that feels it the most is the media sector. When you check historically, number of companies that advertised about 10 years ago compared to now is a far cry. So there are more media houses coming up, but also advertising revenue is dwindling, except you are high up there in the market and you have good relationships. But you see, if the economy is big enough and we have a lot more prospects, there's a lot more that can happen. Revenues can actually grow. You want to compare it to, I don't like to compare Nigeria and America. It's not a fair comparison. But you want to compare it to other media markets, it's not a fair comparison. So my charge is, rather than being so myopic to stifle an already small economy, why can't our politicians think of growth and expansion? And that's why most of the things I'm doing this year, giving skills, I'm getting ready for the day where we're going to have a bigger propensity for economic development. And at least so that we'll have skills there. That's why I'm paying for this training for a lot of you people. And in partnerships. Because when we want an economy to upskill, we also want skills to be part of it. But I can bet you most of our politicians that hold elective office, they don't understand this concept I have just put out there. Question, how can we even make it bigger? Is it disposable income? Do you know how much disposable income has dropped? I'll give you an instance. If GDP per capita was over $2,000 many years ago in this country, and today it's about $1,000, it was $800. In fact, it was when they did the rebasing of the economy, it rose up to about $1,000. Now imagine what the disposable income looks like. pre and post valuation. Your disposable income, take for instance, with over 50 or 100 million, no, sorry, about 5, 6 years ago, 20, 30 million or 40 million could get you a property in a highbrow area. About 10 years ago. Today, you can't even scratch the surface. You still have the same money, but the value of your money has dropped. So you spend more money to be able to get the value you spend less money to get then. Yes, I know the argument will be, yes, the currency was artificially propped on and everything. But today, even the 1,006 you're getting, do you know that the CBN spent about over 4 billion, 4.6 or 4.7 billion in the first quarter alone to prop up the naira? Let's do mathematics, because they're doing something called the managed food. Let's do mathematics. Mathematics this morning. So 4.7 billion divided by 4. That's to show you that at least little over or close to 1 billion is being used every month, or in the first quarter, as the statistics have said. Then the blame game was, on the likes of the Buhari administration. We're using 1.5 billion to defend the currency. But today, and the devaluation has set in, so it's cut the value. So as at then, when we were using 1.5 billion, and now it was about 4, 5, 600. Today is 1,006, and you're using about 4.6, 4.7 billion because of the pressures. So it shows that the economy size has shrunk. So rather than politicians having a mindset of how can we grow the economy, but we so much believe in the God of small things, and that's why we're stuck where we are. So probably, and let me calculate it this way, an average politician, they get into office, they steal a couple of billions. The worst, even if the politician had a good run, the worst they'll be able to steal, maybe couple of billions, maybe $5, $6 billion. But the interesting thing about that money is this: he has a high lifestyle. He'll probably have a private jet for good measure. Then he has to give a lot of people. Then he will probably have invested that money into some schemes, because once they know a politician has stolen money, the people will bring you schemes and they'll say, come and invest in this and that. So he probably has invested that money into 1 or 2 schemes that will have gone south. And a 5, 6, 7, 8 year cycle is back to where he was probably. You know why? Because we've not recreated. So he will rather want to save the money in the house. In fact, on worst cases, he doesn't want to take it through the banking system. He'll save the money in the house. The money will rot away. Look at when they were doing the Naira redesign thing. Look at how many Nairas are like caked in homes. Just imagine if that Naira was brought out to invest in companies, to invest in startups. You will have seen the return on investment, but also because some of those monies were corruptly gotten. No, I'm not entirely all of them, because there are some people that conventionally like to still keep cash, like traders and the likes. But some of those monies were corruptly acquired, and because of that, then when you look at it, you keep it in a soakaway pit, you keep it very funny places. It doesn't impact the economy. So it's a one-track mindset. And with the fact that corruption perpetuates poverty, the mindset of the political class also perpetuates poverty. So, and they think that this cyclical thing is a 4-year cycle. So they come out during elections, give you a couple of, maybe for an election, spend $400 to $500 million in worst case scenarios, and when you spend that, you curry people's votes, and you get their vote, and you get there for a 30 billion max budget for the next 4 years at which you're going to be there, and also maybe a couple of revenues. So you make 1 or 2 billions of USD, but you leave the position, the cycle continues. So the next thing you now want to do is to try to perpetuate yourself in that cycle. That's why you will now try to politically position yourself in such a way that people that are close to you, your surrogates, are the ones that now get into political position. So you now be a political godfather. And you now start to fund them. But it's also a cyclical cycle because it's neither here nor there. Sometimes they will win, sometimes they will lose. You will cheat the system, you will use institutions of state, you'll be corrupt, you get money, you put one or two subventions in place, you would collect taxes on state revenue and all of that. Yes, you will do all of that. But in the end, ask yourself, have you really truly created true wealth? No. You have just created a band of bandwagon followers that will follow you for anything. Obviously, poor people know you have money, they will flock around your homes, you will give them pittance, and the cycle continues. So, in the end, when you look at it, and probably when you die, they'll give you a state burial, they'll put Nigerian flag on you, mourners will mourn for, I mean, you can pay mourners, it's not a big deal. So, mourners will mourn for like a week, because the country is poor. So, at the end of your life, get to think about it. Have you now really created wealth and sustainable wealth, or you have created poverty? The latter is always the case. You will have created a drain pipe and perpetuated a sense of poverty. Secondly, because in the process of accumulating that wealth, you also show off. You will have also started breeding an entitlement mentality amongst people that follow you. So, yes, truly, some people will call you their benefactor. But did the wealth truly trickle around? No. And that's the hypocrisy of the society we make. See, what I've just preached today is for the high-minded ones. Not a lot of people will understand it. So I get it if you don't understand it. I get it. You might not understand it. But for some of you, save this video down. 5-10 years down the line, it will make sense to you. You'll get to a point of understanding what I just said. We'll take some calls. I've got Naomi Eboze. She has a very impactful ministry that we're going to be playing from the 10 o'clock hour. I'm just going to take few calls, before I go to the Naomi Eboze's insight and everything. But tell you what, this thing I've just preached is the biggest problem with Nigeria, the God of small things. And this might be one of the biggest sermons you will ever hear that breaks down the essence of what the political class thinks. See, I'm not that person that comes to post pictures and show off. I talk to the biggest of the biggest politicians you can ever think in this country. And I know them. They talk to me. So I know the mentality. And trust me, I'm not that person that comes to brag about things, but I know quite a few people. And even them, some of the biggest politicians are watching this as we speak. And I'm sure some of them will still engage me and say, oh boy, Rufai, that the way you talk, not true. What I've always advocated is make the pie bigger. Stop the God of small things. See, corruption is the greatest reflection of a weak mind. For the fact that you can engage in corruption is the greatest reflection. See, I have set up companies that have not collected 1 naira in return because I think of the big picture. Because I want the companies to grow. A lot of people benefit. My happiest days are the days I pay salaries or the days salaries are being paid through the ventures we started. I don't care not being paid, but my joy is at least we've created an expansion of some sort. But a lot of people don't think this way. A lot of people don't think this way. So for them, it's about me and my family. I mean, what's the worst you probably get? You send your child to school. If you want to do high fashion, you send out to Harvard. You pay about 80,000 US tuition fee. You pay that for 4 years. You pay that another 1 or 2 years for grad school. Then you pay it again. Then you're milking close to over $500,000 in education. Is that it? Is that the end of the world? But you send your child to Harvard. At some point, you want them to come back to the same economy you destroyed, that you made unequitable, that you didn't open the minds of people. See, a leader opens the mind of people to a future that they can never envisage. But for you, for your political gain, you close the minds of people. You give them pittance. I mean, everybody can play that game. Because if the world is to play that game, you can't win. If you wanted to play that game of corruption, if people like Bill Gates that give way more billions than you'll ever give in your political rallies will play that game, you can't win. The lives of those people have made more impact in lives rather than yours. Hello, how are you?
Good morning, sir.
Morning, great to have you. What's your name?
This is John who got us from Mexico that I've been calling for the past 2 months now.
Okay, so
The one that saying that I need to go to surgery at Federal Medical Center.
and you need help.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I've been calling now. This is my first time of getting through you.
Okay. So give her your phone number in case anybody might be listening and they want to help you.
Okay, let me give you. I've been giving, 091
Yeah.
619
Yeah.
352
Yeah.
97.
Okay. So that's yes. Yes. Go ahead.
No, because you don't always have your time is limited. That's why I have not been able to tell you a story about my life. Please, I need it help. As I'm talking to you, I'm hypertensive. This surgery has lingered.
Mm.
From a Solo General Hospital, they refer me to Federal Medical Center to take matter for surgery. I've not been able to do the surgery because of the money.
Mm. Okay, thank you so much. I'm sure a lot of people are here. We keep.
Even if it means me calling my card number on air, I will call. If they want to, even if they want to do
No. They can call you. They can make all their verifications. But anybody interested and you want to take up that surgery.
This is my first time of calling your station, and this is my first time of getting through. Nobody has called me to tell this one.
No, but you called last week. If my memory serves, I will give out your number.
It's not even last week alone.
Yeah.
This is my first time I've gotten through you.
Madam, these things take time. The people that might want to help you out there, they too might be struggling with their needs. We just pray on God and hope on God. That's what we can do here.
I know.
The best I can give you, the best I can give you is a platform. That's just it. So please, if you are touched to reach out to her, please do well to reach out to her. All right. So that's just all I'm going to say. All right. So. Morning, great to have you. Yeah, please speak up a little bit louder, please.
Okay, yeah. Someone is one is quite good. It's quite encouraging.
So you are saying that me.
Yes, very.
Okay.
It's a very good, it's a very good topic. Yeah, that is, and my interest is that how do we drum into that? I like to say you reach out to some of these our politicians, our big men, or so-called. How do we drum this into their mind? Does it need the orientation or mass support? Because, like what you said, most of them, based on their children, they are going to Harvard, and after that, what next? The country remains like this. And how would you feel when maybe in a neighborhood, it's only you that this one is from Harvard and then comes at the end of the day, we come back here, the country is worse than. So how do we drum this thing into their
So it's also the God of small things and the weak mindset. I'll tell you something about somebody I heard. It was a government official in this country, and he was said to have been bragging to somebody. And guess what he said? He said, "I have more money than you." So in fact, with due respect, that person has left government now. And is back to square one. In fact, he was bragged. And this was this last government too, that I have more money than you. So and when you look at it, so we know this mindset. And that's why this thing I'm saying is also to encourage them, is to sensitize them that, see, if you are rich in this country, and if you are rich in this country, we are all fighting a losing battle, be it rich or poor. Except we put some things right, make the pot big. Okay, look at the woman that keeps calling. If we have a health insurance that works, people like that should be able to get on the health insurance. Why do people go abroad? See, it's not that everything is good abroad, though. It's not that things are not expensive, but two things you will see in abroad is the fact that you will always get job to walk through the cycle of slavery. Then secondly, they will put amenities in place, health insurance, healthcare, but you will work to get it. So it's a cycle. So it is that cycle that at least things are stable that people look at. All we just need to do is to be able to ensure that we develop that same cycle here, systems and institutions. So the first way to start is systems. All of this thing I'm saying, if the judiciary does not work, we are not ready. But look at what our judiciary has become today. It's a joke. In fact, it's so much a joke that when people want to laugh at you, they say go to court.
Yes.
So
I'm supposed to read law, but I never read, and I'm so happy that I never did, because I would have done my down on this thing, but with what we are seeing here.
So it's a joke, but the first way to start the process is to make the institutions work. Not just make it work for only politicians, but make it work for everybody so that a child of nobody can at least trust the judiciary. See, most of these things I'm saying today, this cycle of poverty and corruption, if we fix the judiciary and at least we can increase that to about 85%, you see how things will work. Because you forget that the judiciary also surrounds how businesses are being done. People are cheated of their business. They don't trust the business process. So if you can fix that, then the next institution that you're not made to work is the. But you see, because these people have small minds, it's not in their best interest for institutions to work because of their small-mindedness. They would rather use state of emergency to settle political scores and hold local government elections in the state of emergency so that it will be their own person. And when somebody did it against them last year, they were so hurt, they were so pained that they went to courts. But today, the same thing somebody did against them last year, they are now doing it against the person, and they are happy that they have won. In fact, they are so triumphant. You can see the hypocrisy of the system. So the first way to removing the leash of the small mind is ensuring that institutions work. But they will never allow it to work because the edge they have to collect the small loots they collect is to ensure that the institutions work for them. And as I say, all of this I said, see, a lot of you might not understand it now. It's fine. 5 years, because the way I've come to see it, we're products of behaviors and habits. All of these things I'm saying will still be relevant in the next 20 years in Nigeria, or 30 years. In fact, the iteration is going to be worse off. When the First Republic politicians started the corruption, Mr. 10% in the First Republic, they thought it was a joke then. Steadily, the institutions start to break. You see, when they destroyed the judiciary, the destruction started from the 70s. Before, you can hardly see court judges. Today, politicians make a mockery of them. Before, I think politicians would give a court judge a car and all of that and make them line in front and be saying, thank you, thank you. But today, politicians are making mockery of them. So the destruction of the institution persisted over the years. And this is like a 40-year cycle. We're still younger. We barely get independence about 65 years. So we see the consistent destruction of how it goes. And it continues to go that way. So, truth is, maybe when Nigeria is 80 or 90, this is definitely still going to be relevant. It's still going to be relevant because by that time, people will look for, except we're not ready to look at the big picture, but nobody's ready to look at the big picture now. Everybody wants a turn-by-turn mindset, and that's why across all the politicians, it's the turn-by-turn mindset. It's part of why they've also put in the regional thing. It must be from this region. It suits them. But what they forget is that politics does not even know region in the first place. So this thing I'm saying, it's only the wise that will understand it. I mean, a lot of people, you're not supposed to understand it. And that's why when they carry when they carry the smaller mindset people in society to abuse people that tell them the truth, I laugh at those ones the most. I thank you for your abuses. You are so funny. Because you see, me that I'm abusing, it's your own I'm fighting for. It's your own I'm fighting. It's your lives I'm fighting for. I mean, me that you're abusing, it's your life I'm fighting for. So the joke is really much on you. It's pretty much on you. Because those that are deceiving you are using you as part of their meanings. But I'm not surprised. Go and read Animal Farm. You remember the sheeps. So they made most of you like the sheeps. It's people like you that propaganda will work on. It's people like you that will never scrutinize anything. It's people like you that still believe till date that the refineries are working. So we know people like you. We're not surprised. It's people like you that still believe till date that refinery. You see now that the NNPC, the refinery that they've not accounted for the 3 billion, they are talking about another 60 billion for expansion. So it's people like you that will see the need for an expansion of a refinery that 3 billion was spent on that's not working. But people like you will believe it's working. So we know people like you. And the truth is that in every society. Go and just read the Animal Farm, George Orwell. There are people like you. They are the ones, there are people like you that they will give the ethnic bigotry propaganda for. They will remind you that, oh, Igbos are not from Lagos, and you will start fighting. But you forget that both of you, both Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, have all traded in this Lagos, and you are one. And you all share the commonality of the failures of government. But it's people like you that they will remind that, oh, they are not from here, and you start the bigotry. And it's even people like you on the Igbo front that they will remind that, oh, this person is not my person. And you start the bigotry against your brother from the other ethnic group. Your brother from the ethnic group is not your problem. Your problem is one political class that most suffering Nigerians try to get into one day. Have you ever asked me, what's the Nigerian dream? You go better. What's the Igbo better? Igbo better means that from councillor, you ran for governorship, you got into politics. That's some people's dreams. But is that the overarching Nigerian dream? Must everybody do politics and be successful? Why can't the Nigerian dream build, I will build something and I'll impact the next generation? But it's people like you they sell the delusion for of race, ethnicity, religion. So when it's fair for them, they sell it to you. So I'm not surprised. In every society, there are always ships. When you look at the Animal Farm, it was about the Soviet Union and the West and propaganda and everything. But it's very apt in Nigeria today. So when you come and abuse me because they've sold you propaganda, or probably maybe because they are helping you somewhere and deceiving you, go ahead. You justify the beast. All the words I've said here will live forever. It will linger in your head. And that's why my interviews from yesteryears and the truth I spoke from yesterday are still being reshared today. But it is you that will live with the propaganda, and your lives will be a lot better. It is you that will be pressing hand on social media abusing people. The question is, has your life gotten any better? So we will see how lives happen. And the bigotry didn't start from now on. It started from the First Republic. I mean, pre-independence, because in the 59 elections, that was how the politicians still reminded, you're not from here, you're not from my tribe, you're not from my tribe. So it's an easier sell, but it's a bigger mindset. I'm not saying America is perfect. Please don't get me wrong. But there's a bigger mindset. All I'm saying is, see, politicians will be corrupt anywhere in the world. But let's make the pie of the economy bigger. And how does it start? It starts with institutions you can trust. It starts with the courts. Today, the Senate and National Assembly have not said anything about electoral reforms. I want to go for elections. So we did that and go and read my role. And when we get the results, we'll shout and scream again, It's a cycle. This message is not for everybody. So please, in fact, with due respect, I want you to tune your ears out if it's not for you. But those that understand, they'll get it. And it will shape their thoughts. So I'm not concerned about the ships, the ships that they use propaganda to sandwich. It's not the problem. But I'm preaching to you truths that can stand the test of time. And that's why I say the height of stupidity is partisanship, when you're excessively partisan to one political party and one political leaning. No. Because the more you're partisan to has his own hustle. In the end, his name that's on the ballot is not yours. Have you ever asked what is in it for me, for your own life? I be the boy to become somebody's slave all your life. No, I'm preaching personal emancipation. I'll take my last call and wrap up the show. Enough said. Enough said. If you get it, congrats to you. If you don't get it, I can't help you. I can't help you. I'm not supposed to help you. It's a one in a lifetime kind of message. So 0907 651 1008. 0907 651 1008. But for those that peddle bigotry, out of the abundance of my heart, I love you. And when you need my help, just call me. I mean, I see, in fact, those that have helped the most are those that have abused me. You know how to come to me after abusing me in public. You know how to come to me, and I will still help you. Because for me, the big picture is 1, the love of Christ. 2, I want your life to be better. Because see, if your life is not better, you're a liability to society, and I don't want that. We need to reduce liabilities in society. So it's a big picture. Hello, how are you?
Hi, good morning.
Morning, great to have you.
Thank you, Mr. Rufai. First of all, let me start by appreciating you for the things you do. If you have a lot of Nigerians like yourself, a lot of young people who understand that, first of all, Nigeria is one country. And the moment it gets better for those in the southwest, it will be better for those in the southeast and those in the north. I remember under the last administration, I was in the northern part of Nigeria, exactly Maiduguri, at the time when there was issue with Naira. And, I come into Lagos and then back to Maiduguri. And people down here were saying, oh, Buhari has made money and cash available for his people. And, he's not available for us here. Funny enough, at the time, people were doing their prayers and sleeping at ATM points, trying to get Naira. So the message I brought back was that Nigeria is one country. If you think that because the president is from your place, or your tribe, or your religion, there's a possibility that everyone in that tribe or religion would feel better or live a better life than the other. It's not possible. Because at the time when you have the president from one region, the second president will come from another region. So somehow, it is people from different states, different tribes who come together as one gang and deal with us, the masses. And so, if we can all, forget about that small stipend they will give to us, and then look at the bigger picture like you're saying, I'm sure we'll have a Nigeria. You mentioned what the Nigerian dream and nothing.
And you
trying to reach you. Please speak.
And you see, the analysis I was giving about even when the politician steals is part of the cycle of poverty. In the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years is apt. See, I'll tell you a story of a man. You can go and decipher who he is. He was a former top politician in this country. So rich that I have met people throws his champagne campaign parties at the Ritz-Carlton in New York in the 80s. They were the parties you wanted to be in. You see, but the funny thing about political money is a cyclical cycle. When the money finished, when this man died, for 3 years they couldn't bring him back to the country because there was no money. They just buried him recently. But this was the same man that at the point, his parties in Ritz-Carlton in New York were one in town. I've spoken to people that heard about the parties that were even, they got wind of those kind of parties he threw in New York. So we know the cycle. It's not his sustainable. He was, in fact, it was because of his children didn't have the money to bring him back. So we had to quickly bring him back to the country and get him buried. Stories everywhere. So when I tell you that, even when you steal as a politician, your cycle cannot be more than 10, 15 years. You think I'm lying. Go ahead. And even at that, you can't reproduce the wealth because you have not invested in people. And because when you even invest in people, your return investment will be low because you help destroy a society. You've not built a stable society. There's fluidity. So, my brother, it is well.
It is well. Another thing you mentioned that is key and fact is destruction of institutions.
Yes, now.
The moment we cannot keep our institutions out of party politics, so every institution in the country becomes another, how do I call it, another arm of the political party that is in power.
Yes, now. They will do that one.
Ends up destroying our economy, ends up destroying our country.
It's part of the small mindset now. It's part of the lot of small things.
The police is now of that party, the judiciary is of that party, the institutions, as simple as institutions that should work on their own, they now become another arm of the political party in power. We're destroying our country.
Standard.
I was complaining. Shockingly, I requested a renewal of my driver's license 2 years ago. It's about to be 3 years since I made payment and they gave me a temporary one. And that they've not been able to print my card. I've asked all around. It's not possible. They're asking me to renew again. Who do I go to in a country like Nigeria?
Standard. If you talk too much, they will abuse you. If you talk too much, they will abuse you.
I'm forced to pay another money and renew from the day I make that payment, hoping that one would come out. But this is not how a country should be. This place is a blessed place. I tell people that Nigeria is blessed. Just travel around Nigeria, you understand? This geographical space is blessed. It's just for people to agree that we can have better than what we have now. And everybody put their hands on deck and work towards that. And we will put that for it.
Okay.
For all you're doing, thank you and God bless you.
Bless you, my brother. I gotta go this morning. Bless you guys. That's the end of the show today. Thanks for joining us, those on the radio station VOP platform and those across channels across. Bless you guys so much. It's been a great Sunday. Bless you all.
Hello. Welcome to yet another edition of the Thriving Family Table Talk. How has the day been for those of us in Nigeria and those of us outside? How is your day going so far? Let me look for okay. We've been having a series on the thriving marriage, and today's topic is the thriving ways to handle responsibility seamlessly. Thriving ways to handle responsibilities seamlessly. There are many ways that we do life and it will make us look like victims. So today we want to see why we should live lives like victors, not as victims. We must live life as victors, not as victims. What does it mean to take responsibility? What does it mean to take responsibility? It means that we are 100% in charge of our lives. If you are just joining in, please let us know where you are joining in from. Type in the comment section. And thank you for always joining this live broadcast and even those that catch the replay. Thank you very much. I just mentioned that taking responsibility means that you are in charge of 100% of your life. That means you move from victim to a victor. That means you are in charge of your emotions, in charge of everything that concerns you. You are taking the driver's seat of your life. You take the driver's seat of your life. You don't leave it for another person. You are in charge. You know what to do, how to do, when not to do, what you should not do. That's what taking responsibility is all about. When you take the driver's seat of your life's journey, that means you are fully in charge of your reactions, your actions, your thoughts, your feelings, your words, and your actions. We are energy, and the energy we bring into our lives and into our marriage also shows. Yes, the energy we bring in also shows. Then for us to take full responsibility, that means we would have put systems in place, we'll put past patterns in place that are workable. For example, the husband and wife, they live amicably with each other. And for them to consistently live amicably with each other, that means they have to stop blaming themselves. They have to stop blaming themselves for anything that goes wrong and take responsibility, take charge, and not say, oh, this is a mistake, I shouldn't have done it, or this is a misstep, maybe I should do it this way some other time. Then before you can thrive and take full responsibility, you have to stop blaming your background. But everything that happens, every single thing that happens, you blame it on your background, you blame it on your upbringing, you blame it on the economy. When you stop to blame and accept responsibility, that means you are prepared to thrive. You are prepared to start thriving. You are prepared to start thriving. You know, in scriptures, it says, let your behavior be free of complaining and murmuring. Complaining drains the human being. It drains. It's very draining. It's a draining exercise. Instead of complaining, why don't you sit down and analyze better and look for how you can work around whatever hitches you are going through? That's what is expected in marriage, because there will always be hitches. So when you stop to complain, you start all over to love yourself the more. What attracted the couple together is love. Whether love at first sight or they fell in love after courtship, after days, many days, months. Taking responsibility, one of the ways is that you must keep loving intentionally and keeping love alive. There must be love in the marriage. It must be alive. It must be intentional. You must look for ways to keep love alive. And to take responsibility, another way is to listen more and more. You have to listen more and more. I'm unable to get Pastor Bridget to join in. I don't know what is happening today, but you'll be able to listen. You just be attentive. You listen more and more. Good evening, Pastor Bridget. It's taking us a whole lot for you to join. How are you doing? Thank you for joining in again today. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes. I thought we're not going to get you in, so I'd already started a bit. So let me reintroduce for the topic. The episode topic today is thriving ways to handle responsibility seamlessly. I've already mentioned that for the couple to be in a thriving marriage, they have to take full responsibility, 100% of their life. They have to be in charge, be in the driver's seat. They shouldn't be victims, but rather victors. And how do you do that? You have to learn as a man and as a woman to stop complaining, to stop blaming, whether your background, your partner, parents, economy. And before you just joined in, I talked about love intentionally and keep the love alive, because it's very key, whether it is love at first sight, love inside courtship, however it is love that brought you together, however the love you are defining it. So one of the ways to keep, as in thriving ways of keeping a thriving marriage, is taking responsibility to ensure that the flame of love is burning and is consistently burning, so that love can be alive. I also talked about taking charge of reactions, actions, thoughts, feelings, words and actions, having the actions, reactions, because you can just choose not to react. It's a decision. It's a
Yeah.
decision. Taking responsibility means you are deciding day in, day out, minute by minute, second by second, that, okay, I'm not going to react. I'm not going to blow out an issue out of whatever is happening at hand. So I've tried to introduce the topic. So let's hear your own view concerning today's episode. Thank you. Over to you, Ma.
Thank you so much, Coach
Thank you.
Naomi. A thriving, how to navigate responsibility.
Yeah,
In the question first is, what is responsibility
yeah,
in a thriving marriage? What do you know? What do you see? What do you, as a couple, you must be able to define responsibility,
yeah,
because this marriage A responsibility might be totally different from marriage B
yeah,
responsibility, so also marriage C responsibility. So
yeah,
if you are able to identify what the responsibility of this home is,
yes,
then we will now be able to delegate based on each one's strengths
yeah,
and passion. Because you don't just say, oh, because you did engineering, you should be good in math and be teaching the kids mathematics. It
mhm,
doesn't go
mhm,
that way. If the
mhm,
person do not have passion, flair from being patient to teach little ones, the mere fact that he's a lecturer in mathematics, he cannot be able to teach a kindergarten. You will not force the person to do what is not his or her passion is.
yeah,
You cannot say, oh, because you are into hospitality, that means you must stick to the house, that the house is clean, the sheets are well laid like the hotels. No, it might just be in the business of his hospitality, but it's not our passion or his passion to lay the burdens. He can make provision for the burdens, but anything you cannot do that is not your passion, that is not your
mhm,
strength, you can delegate people to do it.
yeah,
Those are some ways to handle responsibilities seamlessly. You are not good at cooking. You can pay someone to do the cooking. It doesn't really matter because you are a woman, you just have to cook. At the end, you will not be cooking error. You'll be cooking error and disgrace in the kitchen when you know of a truth you are not that good. Why wasting your effort to go all the way, doing shopping and everything? At the end, the key point
mhm,
is the food is not enjoyable. It's either it's too peppery, it's too salty. It's no, not because you are a woman that you must say, oh, my responsibility is for me to go to the shopping and do the shopping and for me to cook it.
mhm,
If you are not good about that responsibility, checking out, or if you must handle it, get paid someone to do it. That's one. And another way is when you have itemized each of your strengths. Oh, this is very good at auditing management. This is very good at as in caring, as in accommodating. Okay. Then when you are receiving a guest, he or she will be the one to go and welcome the guest in. If you know
mhm,
that, okay, your partner, e.g., your wife, is always very cranky, maybe due to maybe pains or things like that, it's not at that particular moment you will push that your spouse to go and welcome guests. Then they will now say, oh, that one that is always frowning, that one, and you know the situation. So you will not use somebody's weakness and assign that person's weakness to a responsibility.
mhm,
Both of you would have studied yourself. You would have known that, okay, this is an introvert, this is an introvert. So, okay, since we are not both extrovert or we are not both introvert, okay, these are the things you can handle, you handle it. Or like finances or paying bills at home. If you know
mhm,
that, oh, if I give this lady bills to pay, she's going to divert it. There's no integrity. Don't use it against her. Don't put such a lady in a tight corner and say, okay, go and pay the fees. Go when you already know that she's not good with finance. So the easiest way to go is that send me the account number and I will pay it. Then no one is exposed to his or her weakness of tempting the person with cash. So now a successful marriage often extend beyond the couple itself.
Yeah.
Taking the time to invest in your partner's family, friendships can enhance your marriage by creating a sense of shared community.
Mm-hmm.
We should do it like a system, like a government. Even in
Yeah.
a country, they have the legislator, they have the assembly, they have the parliamentarian. You understand? So also in marriage, there should be, when you have both identify your strengths,
Yeah.
your passion,
Mm-hmm.
then there should not be delegation, which is division of labor. You don't need to like, okay, this is highly emotional. So like, okay, let him or her do the gifting, buying cards home, doing that. If the other person isn't buying cards home, doesn't mean that she's not loving or is not loving. It could be that her love language is completely different from buying a flower home, buying a perfume home. So you have to like identify your strengths, your
Yeah.
passion. Then you cannot make division of labor responsibility. And once you have delegated each other to this responsibility, e.g., parenting, leave her or him to parent. Don't come in between this strategy and be making those children to feel you are better or outshine your
Mm-hmm.
partner in
Mm.
front of your children. That is a big error.
A
And the
no
kids
no.
also the kids also knows if both of you are not parenting in the same frequency, they use it against both of you. So when you see that, oh, in that skill, I don't have that parenting skills. Oh, I'm not patient enough. The one that is patient enough, let that one parent in love, parent in discipline, parent academically, parent with your backing. That
Mm-hmm.
when the kids come meeting you, don't come back again and be scolding her in front of the children. It is an error. In terms of buying things to your in-laws, as in buying things to, okay, to our parents, let's put it that way. One person should be handling it, and it will be bought equally and shared. Not you, you will buy one, then that person too will go at the end. You will start having the two sets of design, same set of design together, making it to be monotonous and boring and frustrating and demotivating. So we should know, okay, what are the things, the rightful responsibility. Who am I in this marriage? Where do I stand? Am I a parlor person? Am I a bedroom person? Am I a kitchen person? Oh, okay, this is a bedroom person. Okay, this is a kitchen person. Oh, okay, this is a. So if you know that, okay, he loves watching footballs, he's good at electronics, he's good at the internet, then you can as well say, okay, you undo all the school's emails so that it will not be these ones have already sent email to the school and you too you are sending emails to the schools. And it's even as advisable when it comes to school emails like that or bills and everything. It's good to have a joint email that both of you have the password to it so that you can both see that, okay, this has been treated, this email has been replied to, okay, this information been sent, okay, the mechanic has sent the bills for the car repairer, the education school fees bills have been sent, then you both have access to it. Then this will not be, I don't know, oh, I thought. In terms of bills, joint email is required. That joint email does not require money. You still have your personal emails, but anything that has to do with schools activity, we go to that joint emails. Anything that has to do with, okay, payment of bills, telecommunication bills, TV license, its license renewal, everything that will be in the joint email. because both of you have access to it. Then you will know, okay, you open yours every 2 days, or okay, this one open is once a week. It's just to checkmate each other and make it look interesting, so that everyone will know that, okay, they are in the right place and they are in a safe place. And there are so many other things. Prioritizing physical intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
How do you prioritize physical intimacy? Through, like, it could be through gentle touch, as in hand touching and what, and that's why it's always nice as couple to do your personality check. Like, what personality are you? Are you, I've forgotten how to they say it, John Maxwell. It's always nice for you to do your personality traits. So
Mm-hmm.
if we have ABC, just know your personality. If you are A, if you are B, if you are C, then you know how to complement each other. Because if you don't know your personality traits, as in, we have some hyper efficiency people, then we have some low efficiency people, then we have some not able to make decision, intermediate. They are just there. So if you are an hyper and your spouse is intermediate, you can't expect such intermediate to have instant response to issues. So you just, like, okay, I'm not good at decision making. The hyper efficiency personality traits, you go for the decision, and I will always trust your decision, and I will always back it up. We need to work to collaborate in responsibility in
Mm-hmm.
a thriving home. The first one is that prioritizing physical intimacy. It could be through words, it could be through touching, it could be, okay, we say, okay, every morning before we leave, we give each other a kiss on the head or on the cheek, on the that. You understand? We could be, okay, before we go to bed, none of us will go to bed without talking. We must not keep malice going to bed. That's our responsibility, we know. Then you could say, okay, we have to hug ourselves on the bed together. Okay, any night I'm not coming early, that you want to sleep, just inform me that, okay, I'm not coming early. You go to the bed. Then you will not be getting angry. I've waited for you and you've not come back. No. The next one is respecting personal space.
Yeah.
You have to respect each other's space, because he's your spouse. It's not as if he's a prisoner. Respect his space or her space. Respect the kind of friendship she decides to keep. Respect the kind of family he or she has come from. You cannot go there because you have married from there and try to change them. That is their own belief. That is what they do. Face the one you have married. And if you want to go there, if their pattern of living or pattern of thinking does not go well with you, you don't have to go with him. You don't have to go with her. You don't, when you are not a narcissist, that you want to monopolize him or her. So respect personal space. It's part of responsibility. If you are able to respect personal space, the love will be loving and the emotion will be, affection will be
Balancing
increasing.
well, yes. Now, let me
The
just chip
next
in
one,
something before you continue. Sorry,
yes, ma'am.
sorry, ma. You said respect personal space. So you also have to refuse to take anything personal. You've already
Yes,
mentioned it, so I just wanted to buttress it. You refuse to
yes,
take everything personal. You just have to let go. As in,
exactly.
emotions are visitors, they come and they go. So refuse
Yes.
to take anything personal. She's already mentioned it. Concentrate
Mm,
on how love will continue in the
mm,
marriage. Concentrate on it. Concentrate on how you will grow together. Take
yeah.
responsibility, shared responsibility. As in, ensure that
Mm,
you are getting better, not that
mm.
you are getting better at complaining or getting better
At
at
nagging.
blaming each other. Oh, you did it, as if though you are in a competition. Even those that compete, let's even face it, even athletes, when they run, are they competing with each other? No. By the time they
Mm.
finish, good sportsmanship, they hug themselves. So
Herself.
husband and wife, husband as a man and woman, you should concentrate on not complaining or blaming each other, but rather Make yourself happy. Who says you cannot even pick up a journal and be writing it down? As you write it down, since you are that is that bad, write it down. Or get sheet of paper, write it down, then tear. But as far as it has left your system, you'll be happy. Because you cannot give what you don't have. You must
Out.
learn to live in joy. It's your
Overflow.
responsibility. That's one of the
To be
chief
happy.
responsibilities. You have to be happy. You have to be joyful. The man, you have to be happy. You have to be joyful. Wives, you have to be happy. You have to be joyful. Because
Joyful.
if you are not happy, you are not joyful. Which intimacy? How will you be intimate? How will you come together
Come
to
together.
even discuss or to be intimate? How would you parent? How would you represent your marriage outside the home? How? How would you do that? You have to, as in, just be very intentional to be able. So let you continue. Thank you, ma.
Thank you so much, Coach Naomi.
Thank
Again,
you.
engaging in shared activities.
Yeah.
Not is when he's watching match. Hey, yeah, I don't want to watch match. I don't want to watch that soccer. Even if you don't know anything there, learn to know the names of the players. Oh, Messi, this. Because if you are not engaging in shared activities, the children are watching. So what do you want to tell the children? Because you have to role model what love is,
Mm-hmm.
what marriage is for your kids. Then if
Mm-hmm.
your wife too is saying that, okay, I like to read, I'm a writer, I read so much. At times, just chip in some authors that make some literature poems, quotation to boost like, okay, she's in ministry. You could also said, oh, what if you just give your program, your fourth out program, this thing? Okay, what if you do this as in share activities, like playing games together? We have
Mm-hmm.
games like cards, we have games like Ludo, like word scramble. We can do Scrabble together. Not No, don't be that kind of a difficult partner. When the whole house is bubbling, okay, they're making snap for movie night. You just can say, oh, I'm so tired, I'm not interested. And don't be a killer at home.
Ooh. Ooh.
Don't be a joy killer at home.
Mm-hmm.
When they are saying, oh, let's play these games or let's go to the beach. How much? How much is to get there? No, no, no. We are not going. We are not going. And you just kill the children's joy. They're like, oh, we know when it comes to our mom, he's going to say how much, how much. Learn to accept gifts without
Mm-hmm.
asking how much. When you are not an enemy of progress. Those are the parts of things you have to
Right.
learn. Don't
Mm-hmm.
put all of the problem at home. Oh, we've not paid bills, we've not paid rent, we've not. Even if you've not paid, remember that money you are using to go to a picnic is not enough to pay the rent. So why don't you enjoy that shared activity at that moment? Because when you are enjoying shared activity together,
Mm-hmm.
it's bringing you people closer, and the bonding is getting more intimate, and you are trusting in one another. But when you start telling them how much, you are demotivating them. You are making them feel that they are not competent enough, that you don't deserve what is good. And when your
Mm-hmm.
kids also grow up, you will be they might not even give you a gift. They say my mommy never like any gift, we don't know what to give to her. Yes,
You'll not be wondering then, do these children even like me at all?
because you
Meanwhile, you
have
did
made
not know
them to understand.
you modeled what you did not intend to model. So that brings
Mm,
us to one of the responsibilities is to be intentional.
yes,
Everything you have is you have to be intentional. The responsibility
yes,
you have to be intentional in everything you do.
yes,
Everything has a consequence.
yes,
Every
please,
action, every reaction has a consequence.
yes,
So you have to be intentional. You must live
yes,
in the present moment. Both of you must be
yes,
mindful. Mindfulness is
mm,
very key. It's your
yes,
responsibility to be mindful. You cannot be living, that's how we used to do it in our house. Really?
never. Mm-mm.
That was your home, but that was your home, but this is now your
Mm.
own home you have created. So
Created.
you must live in the present. It's your responsibility to live in the present. It's your responsibility to be present enough to
Mm,
create patterns that will keep you together, keep the family thriving, keep everybody together. Because the power of intention, like you've mentioned, shared activities. Why shouldn't you partake in shared activities? You structure, you have a log, like a log. It's like Marriage, if you want to do it scientifically, yes, there's a spiritual part of marriage, but scientifically, truly, you can have a log where you clock in and say, okay, this is what we should do now. Oh, we've done this. You understand? I remember, when your son was younger, when he came, he said he picked all the places of interest. Those are the things that children like. So let's not be their killjoy. Yes, we're talking about marriage, but we are role modeling marriage to them. Our sons, were their potential fathers and
Husbands
husbands, while the daughters are wives and
and
daughters. So we must role model the right thing to them. If we truly don't know, we can learn. We can learn. Even the manual that was given to you in marriage is a certificate that states or the laws that governs marriage. Your full name, your full names, those of your parents or who stood as your parents, and witnesses.
yes.
That's all that is
Yes.
there. There's nothing else there. So how do you want to now use? It's a piece of paper, but it's binding. So that tells you that you need more. You need more than the certificate to be able to navigate. Even those that have done 40 years, they'll just look at themselves sometimes and say, good riddance to bad rubbish.
Bad rubbish, yeah.
They can say it because maybe at a point in time, they kept on managing, assuming lack of intentionality that okay, it will be fine, it will be fine. No, don't sweep anything under the carpet. You tackle everything, because sweeping it under the carpet means there's still going to be dust under the carpet, and you are going to acquire catarrh or common cold from under the carpet. So that's the same thing with marriage. If you are not discussing, if you are not participating, there's no participation. It's a participatory thing. The husband has to participate, the woman has to participate. Yes, you
Yeah.
have shared responsibilities, but you have to take responsibility, and it
And
must be participatory. It must be participatory from both ends.
thank you. Then the next one is emotional gesture.
Yeah.
Not you, any little thing you will start crying round the whole house. It is not acceptable in front of the children. You don't
Mhm.
use tears. Even some men share tears just to blackmail one another. So that is not in a thriving home. It's okay to express your emotion, not to that one of sharing tears, but you should
Mhm.
be able to complement each other's emotional gestures. Then
Mm.
again, communication in a healthy marriage. You need to learn to share that communication in a healthy marriage. As in, he's not a talker, or
Mhm.
she's a talker, or he's a talker. You are not a talker. So,
Mm.
and I noticed that some couples, they don't have public decorum when they
Mm.
are outside. Like when you are outside and in a forum, as in, once your spouse is talking, you don't need to talk, you need to listen. You understand? Then when you are talking, or if your voice is getting too loud, at least your spouse should be able to signal you in case if it's not sitting beside you. So when you are outside in terms of communication and you are talking in the crowd, at times, don't be too carried away. Look
Mm.
towards the direction of your spouse. Maybe there might be a message, coded language you want to tell you, as in, okay, to round up your communication. That's shared responsibility. You are watching out for each other. You are not competing with each other, but you are
Mhm.
complementing one another. You are
Mm.
collaborating with one another to become better of you. In such a way, you have to be teachable and you have to be effective communicator. You understand? If you know he's not an effective communicator, don't bother dragging him to talk too much. You could just be pinching him to let him know that, okay, drop your phone. Okay, you also make some comments, so that they will know you are part of the forum. And even at home, you have to know how to communicate. Not that because we are able to pay school fees or pay just lesson fee, You will go and tell the children, I've just finished paying your lesson fee now. I've closed down my account to pay your lesson fee. You see, now this is your foolish father. Or you go and tell your children, you know, this is your foolish mother. I've just finished paying you people's grandma, you people's grandpa's house that was damaged. I just repaired it in the village. No, no, no. That is not how to communicate or share responsibility in a thriving home. Even if it's you that you are paying as a woman, paying fees, your kids are not supposed to know the class. We call it classified information. Because if you are making the kids to know that you are all they have, that their father is nobody, you are equally going to bet another son that will not be able to be a provider. Because he will feel relaxed. If my father did it with ease, that he found a woman that pay off all his bills, why should I strive or thrive to be able to pay bills? And he will continue. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
want your son to continue for where the father stopped, know the type of communication you share with them. You don't share classified information about how the business is being shared for them. You are not sharing responsibility in a thriving home like that. Another one is, you must know that when you are talking about responsibility, you have to be a good partner. You have to be rendering help. You know, we, how will I put it? You know, we have what we call destiny helper. Some we say helper
Mm-hmm.
of destiny. Either way,
Mm-hmm.
destiny helper or helper of destiny. In the nutshell, scripturally, your spouse was supposed to be your helpmate.
Mm-hmm.
That means destiny helper. Do you
Mm-hmm.
understand? But
Mm-hmm.
now people now make it to look as if when you are married, your husband cannot be your destiny helper, your wife cannot be your destiny helper, because it's being monetized. They believe only destiny helper is the one that give money, that give gifts. But they are forgetting that some people, their presence in your life elevates them, promote them,
The
open
spirit of
doors for them,
evidence. Yeah.
make them to get to the seat of honor. So such people, such attributes cannot be bought with money.
Mm-hmm.
So if you find such people that ever since this person is in my life, both man or woman, I'm progressing with ease. Things are moving well. I'm being recognized. I'm being honored. So you don't have to like feel that you are more important or go and be saying it's using my destiny. Some people say it's your destiny that is using. It's your destiny that is using. No, 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 no. In a thriving home, you have to share that star together because you are glorious. So it's better your glorious nature is making your spouse to blossom than they exchange your glorious nature to become a rag. God will help us in the name of Jesus because of our time, adaptability to change. E.g., when relocation comes, when husband all of a sudden they just to become an MD, you have to change immediately. Don't feel like and still be looking at him like, is he not that guy, that boy that bought the first suit for marriage? No, it is no longer that person. He's not an MD of an organization. So you have to have that 360 drastic change immediately
One
to
around. Yeah.
level up in your IQ, in your mentality, to level up when he's saying, oh, we taking that private jet. Oh, we taking business class. Say, we don't have to take business class. No, you level up. You slide yourself into that level. It's called
I,
adaptability.
I'm enjoying your words. You level up, you slide into it. So, wives and husbands, have you heard? It's not just even when the woman is rising. I know a modern man, a godly man, will not mind. Even though we, as in me personally, I'll prefer the man to do well, even while I'm doing well. Why is it that possible? Because, and from my experience, I'm talking about my own personal experience. It's not all women that can manage to get to that high place, because it takes a whole lot. You have to be extra careful,
You have to
because
unlearn and
yes,
relearn.
you have to learn and unlearn, and it takes a whole lot of grit, resilience to be able to have so much and still be able to manage power. Because I don't think that amount of power, it's good to have money. I will tell you the truth as a woman, but there is a whole lot of it to have money and still be humble. Yes, thank you very much, Ma, for everything you've said. I just want to chip in that it is your responsibility as a wife and as a husband to feel calm, to be confident, to apologize when you need to apologize, to forgive, to unearth, remove all the hurts, to accept that life, it has mistakes in the journey, and don't hold on to those mistakes as though they are monuments or statues. The statues that can be put in the house that you must always refer to.
Don't
No,
pile it up like
no, no.
MP3.
No, 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 no. Or you do those days disc jockey that you want to use, you just be piling it up. No, no,
CD,
no. You
CD.
must see the good in each other. It is not a match, it's not a competition. So
No.
to feel calm, be confident, listen, apologize, forgive. She's already said a whole lot. There's classified information. You have to learn how to. It is marriage is where you express yourself. That is where you will
Yes.
be tested on all levels, on all
Aspects of
levels.
life.
It is a full school on its own. This morning, while I was meditating, while I was taking my walk, I told myself that, where do you want to be? God's training school, or your actions, inactions, reactions training school? Because there are different schools. In God's
Yes.
training school, He tells you this is what you should do, but your actions, reactions, and inaction school, there's no much clarity there. You have actions, there's no much clarity. You will struggle more, but if you submit to God, because He's the author of the thriving marriage, you find out that your responsibilities, you handle them seamlessly. You have the right posture. It is your responsibility to have the right posture. You must position yourself. She said it subtly that as you rise, as you self-develop, there are many things that you have to learn how to stop doing and pick up the ones you should start doing. I remember when we got married, my husband and I, he used to drop me off in the salon. Now I expect him to come and drop him. Once a while, if he's free, yes, he does that. But if I want him to be doing it the way he used to do it, oh, really? Then I'm living in a, where will I be living
Denial.
then? I truly don't know.
Denial.
Denial, no, it's not denial, man. It's a fake world, a world that doesn't exist, a world that don't exist. I remember my supervisor then, my first supervisor, he told me, you don't want to learn how to drive, you are always relying on your husband. It comes to pocket. He says, very good, though, it's very good, but over time, you will not be able. Imagine if you fall into labor, so when it's very far, both of you will be under pressure. So why don't you just, so he was trying to explain to me, and it's the truth. Marriage is very practical. Marriage is practical. It takes a whole lot of, so at every point in time, you must be checking the dynamics. No need to be blaming. You should have. Even if you've fallen into the blame, come out of it. It's not a house now,
Amen.
it's not your home. Come out of it and look
Amen.
for
Amen.
instead of saying, oh, this is that, this is not this. Come out of it and say, okay, this is what we should do, and this is how we should handle it. Responsibility is being 100% in charge of your life. You are in the driver's seat as the wife and as the woman. Your
Husband.
responsibilities, they are very clear. They are spelled out. You know them in total. You are learning every day how to handle your specific responsibilities. Your thoughts, you are taking charge of your thoughts. You are taking charge of
Yes.
your reactions. You are taking charge of everything, so that the marriage will continue to thrive, so that you are able to handle
Flourish.
things better. It can be that easy. It's not enough to say it's easier said than done. No, it is possible. It is possible. So remember, making yourself happy is very paramount to have a thriving marriage. My darling sister, please, can you help us give your 1 or 2 words to our viewers so that we can wrap up this episode for today? But before she does that, the episode topic today has been Thriving ways to handle responsibilities seamlessly. The thriving ways to handle respective responsibilities seamlessly. So over to you, sis. Let's round off.
Okay, thank you so much, Coach Naomi. You made mention of some we think is not easy. In the first place, if your why of entering a marriage
Mm-hmm.
is stronger than your no of leaving the marriage,
Mm-hmm.
it will be very easy for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you find out most people never knew the why of them getting married. He just proposed and I love. We've got it for 10 years. No. Apart from the fantasy of love, marriage, did you people discuss of okay, force major as in unforeseen circumstances
Mm-hmm.
like e.g. losing of job, like e.g. not being able to give birth, like e.g. okay having special needs kids, like e.g. having troubles with the in-laws, e.g. all those things. Where do you people discuss all those things before marriage, during courtship? If you find out that maybe only 5% couple did before they get in. It was after they now got in, they are not trying to like put their two legs in one trouser or trying to now go, okay, let's go to prayer mountain, okay, let's fast, let's do that. It's good to fast, it's good to pray. But the Bible says faith
Faith without
works
works is dead.
is dead. So many people they have that faith, but they don't have that work. The work is
Mm-hmm.
calm down. You have to be broken. You have to come down to the level of where you are.
Mm.
Who was courting you during courtship is totally different for who you
Yeah.
have married. Because at that time of courtship,
Even
there
5 years down the line, both of you are different people. 10
no
years,
wait.
you are different people.
During courtship, when it
Mm-hmm.
was paparazzi bringing ice cream, roses, wine, going as in stay outside, let just talk and talk and talk. I see the moon sees me. That time, he was a free man. She was a free girl. But the moment you people now marry together, the first thing that comes to the man is, I don't want to fail. I have to double my hustle. I have to be a provider. They will have that good intention, making everything, and yet they still have their friends or married friends trying to drag them. They still have their family trying to say, "Ah, when will you come and collect soup?" Some out of foolishness, no, I won't call it foolishness. Maybe like this, they will just still go to their mom's house and start bringing pot of soup to the house. And if you, as the wife, did not say, what? Where are you bringing this pot of soup to? Take it back. And you collect it the first time, believe me, you will never have a right over your kitchen. And say, okay, it's the mom, let's just eat it together. You need to stop it. If you did not discuss it before marriage, that as this kitchen belongs to me, I decide what comes out of this kitchen and nobody else have access to it. I'm just using that as an example. But then, because they were already used to routine going to mommy's house to take pot of soup, and they just bring it there, and you collect it for the first time, you collect it for the second time, then by the third time you now want to change it. French people will say c'est n'est pas possible. It will not be possible. So now when we are talking about sharing responsibility, he's now married. His responsibility in kitchen is no more needed. You are now responsible for the kitchen. Even if you cannot cook that delicacy in life, you go, they have Igbo kitchen restaurant, they have Calabar restaurant, they have Yoruba restaurant. It's just a matter of you finding that restaurant that makes the best sauce and get it in your bowl and come back home and pour it in a plate
You
and
can even
preserve it.
learn. You can even learn how to
No,
do it.
no, the way you are still learning that is not yet professional. Imagine you are competing with a professional that has been cooking it. So why putting yourself in that stress for a long time to learn when you can easily buy time and get it and save yourself stress and you will eat it and still be relaxed. than you making it. Is either it's over spicy or too much sauce. It cannot meet that standard of what marrying a 40 years old man that has been their his delicacy, his favorite. You can learn it before marriage, not when you have now married and you are now under duress. Oh, the sister is coming to make it. Oh, the mother is you're already under duress. You, like a thriving wise woman, you don't compete with them. If you know, if they teach you, they will use it to ridicule you, they will laugh at you. Go get it outside, put in your bag and come home and present it. They won't know. You can just tell them in that place that, okay, get me turkey, I wouldn't want it with the beef. Okay, you can buy. I know some women, they buy from 2 3 places together and juggle all together. The change, the particular taste change. It's all about strategy. When you pray for God, that God, I want to be effective in my responsibility. If I've not known my responsibility, teach me. Holy Spirit, I want to know. Maybe I'm overstepping my boundaries. Maybe, you know, there are some that are like, you have to call your mommy now, speak to your mommy now. You don't do that to your husband. Or your husband will tell you, call your mommy now, call your mommy now. That is, you are overstepping boundaries. And even if they call you and say, can you please tell your husband this? Immediately respond to them that, no, pass the message to him. I cannot. There's no way I can discuss such a thing with my husband. Is your son, ma, or is your brother, ma? You have already passed message to them that you are not the one controlling your spouse. You know, they want to try you and tell you, okay, just tell your husband that I need I need $2, I need one this. And as foolish as you are, you will say, okay, I will deliver the message. No, thank you. You cannot deliver such message. They have the contact. They should reach him or her directly. Because when you start accepting such responsibility, tomorrow they will use it against you. That they will only get access to their brother when they leave message with you. Why should that be? You understand what I'm trying to say? Maybe they've asked him and he has said no. They will come and put you in between. And you will tell him. Because they tell you, you will tell him or you will tell her, he will not have any option, he will do it. Then tomorrow they say, don't mind that man, he's a woman rapper. Don't mind that girl, he's a Ruth and fan love. You see what I'm trying to say? So don't
Yeah.
let anybody put you in between in terms of
Thank you.
responsibility.
Thank
Yeah.
you, so that we can go. Because we're
Yes.
almost getting to time. Thank you very much. I didn't
Yes.
intend to cut you. Thank you. So we need to wrap up.
Okay.
So I'll leave us with this quote by Joan Didion. Joan
Mm,
Didion. He says, "The willingness to accept responsibility for
mm.
one's own life is the source from which self-respect springs."
Yes.
Self-respect is key for the man and for the woman. So we
Yes.
have to be willing to accept responsibility. Thank you again, our viewers, for joining in. We'll see you again next week, hopefully, for yet another episode. Good night from Nigeria, and also good night from the Middle East. We love
Night,
you.
night. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.